Hello and welcome to another Test Community Network update. I hope you're all well and not too full of chocolate after the Easter break. My name's Tim Burnett. This is the Test Community Network. If you want more information along the way and you want to go to the Test Community Network, go to that address there. In this episode, just some reminders. We've got the AO Forum coming up on the 1st of May. That's an excellent event, well worth attending if you're based in the UK. Lots of panel discussions and the regulators will be present. We've got the International E-Assessment Conference and Awards, which is taking place later on in June. And in a second, I'll play a clip from an interview I did with Pat Coates from the EAA, just more about that event. And another event just to have on your long-range radar is the EATP Conference in Berlin. And next week, I'll be chatting with Chelsea with more information about that. But let's hear some more updates and information from Pat about the upcoming E-Assessment Conference and Awards and some other activity that I've got going on. Okay, over to you, Pat. Hi, Pat. How you doing?
Very good, thank you. Very good indeed.
Thank you for joining us today. So we just want to talk about a few things that the EAA have got coming up. The first one is the Conference and Awards, which is later on in June. I'll put the date up on here. Do you want to tell us a bit more about what's going on for that?
Yeah, sure. We've got a 3-day event, which is unusual. Normally it's just a 2-day event, but what we've done is we've added a additional day, and that's got a couple of activities. One is a national examinations roundtable where we're getting people from the industry, both in the UK and overseas, together from responsible for national examinations. So that could be examination boards, Ministry of Education, regulators, etc. And it's a roundtable format, so they can talk about the work they're doing, what their aspirations and plans are. I think Chatham House Rules is the official title of it, so they can talk in an open context without having to worry about anyone saying, but you said this. So, and then the afternoon, we've got an AI symposium just to focus on all things AI related as well. And then, of course, the main conference is very similar to the usual format. We've got an exhibition, we've got keynote speakers. But what we've managed to include this year as well, which is wonderful news, is we've actually got the option of having breakout sessions. So it means we'll have more speaking opportunities for people to be able to present what they're doing with technology at the conference.
Okay, and obviously, I'm quite heavily involved in the planning for this. But just tell us what kind of people you're expecting to come along to this kind of conference. Who do you think should be there?
Yeah, well, what we're trying to do this year is, I mean, obviously, like a lot of industry events, you get a lot of people who are, the vendors, the sponsors there. But what we're really doing a push on now is a different range of people. So any organisations involved in assessment. So that could be, like I said, government departments involved in assessment, the Ministry of Education, etc. But also awarding organisations, exam boards, universities. There's such a large number of organisations, different types of organisations that are involved in assessment. We really want to reach out to those. So we're doing a lot more of a push on LinkedIn and other means as well to try and encourage attendance.
Yeah, and I think in the past, sometimes people thought, well, I won't go to one of these conferences until I'm in the market for a new platform or something like that. But this is something you really need to be following for years in advance before you make a decision, isn't it? You need to be keeping the loop, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the thing is, things are changing so rapidly in the field, and plus, you don't know what you don't know. And I speak to people all the time who are sometimes new to the concept of e-assessment and what's involved. And often their experience is something from 5 or 6 years ago, or we did online proctoring 5 years ago, but it didn't work out well because you implemented it, during COVID in 3 weeks. So I think there's so much going on that's new to technology, new innovations, new ways of doing things, that you really do need to be able to keep abreast of what's happening and what's available in the market.
Yeah, excellent. So tickets are on sale now, aren't they, for that? You've got the awards as well, which will be announced at the gala dinner on the evening of the 11th, I think, isn't it? And then we've got the call for papers is closing, isn't it? That's this weekend. What kind of papers are you looking for?
A broad range, really. I mean, we talk about the human element in terms of assessment as well. So it's not everything about technology. It's also about people involved in technology as well. So, like I said, the human element. But really, we've got a broad section. Like I said, we've got the opportunity with sort of parallel sessions of having more speakers than previously. So as long as people are putting something forward that is genuine of interest rather than buy our product, then I think they'll probably have a good chance of being able to present. And that's something we haven't been able to do before because we've always been a bit restricted on space.
Yeah, and I've always been kind of a big fan of the interactive space that we've had at the conference, and the opportunity to people to get hands-on with the technology as well, because you don't really get that sometimes. It's just kind of dry presentation at the front from other conferences, but this one is you can actually play with this tech, can't you?
Absolutely. I mean, I actually presented one last year, and it's a bit nerve-wracking because you're worried. The fact is, people are there in the room, warts and all. If something goes wrong, it happens. But actually, I really enjoyed it. Everything went fine for me. But it's one of those situations where people accept that it's unusual to put people in an environment like that. It's a quick turnaround. You've got 45 minutes, off you go. And people's human nature is they'll go and start clicking everywhere and doing things and going outside. So I think it's an excellent opportunity because I think it's very rare that people have that opportunity to be able to do something hands-on, rather than just being, like you said, being presented to and told you this is it. Actually being able to do something yourself, I think, is really useful.
Excellent. Well, so not long to go. So if anyone's got any presentations out there that they want to put forward, then get those in by Sunday the 7th. And then there's a special interest group coming up as well on the 30th, isn't it? Do you want to tell us quickly a bit more about that SIG?
Absolutely. So we had our first online proctoring of the year earlier on, but this one is focused on AI in online proctoring. So that could be in terms of ID validation for candidates, or it could be cheat detection, etc. So what we're going to do is get some of our industry experts along to talk about what they're doing, how they're using the technology. I think we'll actually get a good response to that because we know that people are very, very interested in this area. And also potentially it's quite contentious as well, because I know AI is a very emotive subject. So I'm hoping for good debate. And it's in a panel session. I prefer that rather than people just being talked to for 20 minutes, half an hour, etc. So we'll probably have 4 people on the panel talking about how they're using AI, and then I'll act as sort of moderator asking questions. What we're going to do this year as well is we're going to ask people who are attending to ask questions beforehand as well, just because obviously that will provide a bit more information to make sure we cover as much of the topic as possible.
And is this online or is this in person?
Yeah, it's online. It's online. So we have got the AI symposium at the conference, which is the in-person event on the Monday the 10th. But this is a webinar structure.
Okay, so excellent opportunity anyone internationally. Of course, go to the e-assessment.com, the e-assessment association's website, to see more information about all those things that Pat was just mentioning there. Is it still free to join the EAA, Pat?
Absolutely a bargain.
Bargain.
How could you possibly go up? And we've been doing our membership has now increased. We've got 4,800 members. So over the last 12 months, we've increased by just over 1,000 members, which is fantastic news. But there's still more people out there, because what we really want is to educate people about e-assessment, technology-enabled assessment, digital assessment, whatever you want to call it. And it's free to join, and we're pushing information out all the time. So please, by all means, everybody join.
Excellent. I really do recommend people do that. Well, thank you very much, Pat. Thank you for your time today, and I look forward to seeing you very soon at another conference and event. Where are you going next? What's your next event you're going to?
Probably Riga for the weekend with some friends of mine, but nothing official. No, I'm actually debating at the moment where there's e-learning Africa. They've kindly promoted their event to their user base of members, but I've been given a speaking opportunity. I'm just trying to sort out the logistics of whether I can do that. We have actually, just to say that on the membership, I mean, we've got, like I said, 4,800 members now. There's a good split. It's probably a third Europe, third US, third the rest of the world. We're really doing a push to get more involvement from other countries outside the traditional ones, so Africa, Southeast Asia, etc. So we're doing a lot of work. So hopefully I'll be at e-learning Africa in May, but I just need to try and confirm the logistics of it.
Excellent. Well, I won't be there, but hopefully there'll be other people watching that will meet you there or go there as a result of you telling them about it. So brilliant. Excellent. Well, thank you very much. You take care, and I'll see you soon.
Wonderful. Thanks a lot, Tim. Bye-bye.
Cheers. Thanks for that, Pat, and thanks for telling us more about the EAA's activities there. Really worth looking into. Just a quick look at the marketplace on the Test Community Network. Sitting at the top, we've got the AO Forum, which is the event which is taking place on the 1st of May. We've also got this VAPI platform, which seems to be kind of building a bit of interest. It's have a go. Go to the website, vapi.ai, and just chat with the assistant. And I've showed my family and friends, and it's been absolutely kind of incredible, the response that people have had. Also sitting at the top there is QuestionMark. So obviously some interest in that particular platform. Of course, you can get to the top by saving and having people save your listings. PebblePad as well, forming up there as well. So it's worth checking those out. Then other upcoming events, we've got the we've got a SIG coming up. I've got an event coming up which is looking at Gen AI. That's the Association for Learning Technology, and that's a virtual event which is coming up. There's Digital Learning Institute having an open day. It's worth checking that out. This is an interesting one that's come across that someone's been talking to me about. International Association for Accessibility Professionals. That's a hybrid event that's taking place. It's a bit of a EU-based event. The actual conference itself is in Paris. So if you're in Paris and you want to nip to that, then I'm sure they'll welcome you there. Talview have got a webinar coming up. The School of Disruption AI Ethics have got a webinar there as well. We've got generative dialogues. This is another one that I've come across quite recently. It's worth checking out as well. And then we've got the Cambridge event, which is a hybrid event taking place on the 17th. And I'm going to play you a short clip from a conversation I had with Rosie from there last week. You can watch the full clip from last week's episode if you want. Here's Rosie.
Yeah, so we've got a great conference coming up on the 17th of April. It's called Assessment Horizons and Assessment Principles, Navigating the Future Together. We're pleased to have a really kind of bumper selection of speakers and presentations happening. We've got keynote sessions being led by Sarah Hughes, our Research and Thought Leadership lead here at Cambridge, and Imogen Caseborn from the Digital Education Futures Initiative here. They're both going to be talking about the Futures of Assessment report, which looks ahead to 2050, anticipating plausible future directions. So identified 4 key drivers for change. Those were climate change, AI tutors and personalized learning, immersive, interactive and augmented assessments, and human flourishing and well-being. So that's going to be a really fascinating discussion looking at the implications of that.
Excellent there. And of course, all these events which are shown up on the Test Community Network. So just if you have a look down the listings here, you'll see all the marketplace items on there as well. And then you've got the events by date as well. So you can check those out on there if you wish. So the calendar comes up and it'll give you all the events listed out that you can find all the information on. Just then some other kind of in-person events which are coming up. We've got the American Board of Nursing Specialties. They've got a conference coming up. That's their in-person spring meeting. There's the AAC and U conference, Pedagogy and Assessment. That's an in-person one. AAMC have got a conference coming up, and there's the LARC, the Language Assessment Research Conference, which is an in-person event as well. To get a heads up on all these events as they happen, then make sure you go to the Test Community Network. You can subscribe, become a member. It's fully free. I'm just going to leave you with one quick item here. Let me just add this to the stage. This is one of the items which is in the marketplace at the moment. This is a connected papers piece just around ChatGPT and its role in academia. This is really fascinating. I love this tool and this interface, the idea that you've got this kind of web and network of connected papers. So it's worth checking that out. Anyway, that's it from me. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. If I don't speak to you before, I'll speak to you next week. And take care and bye-bye.